Hello, everybody. My name is Shannon Clements. Some call me the dramatic author. Others call me mental. Why? Because I like to think a lot. Right now, I'm sitting here at a rest area. I'm here in, I think this is Connecticut. It looks nice around here, little slight scenery or whatever. And so, what I'm looking at is basically how, as you can see, I don't know if you can see that over there. You got to share this rest area with the cars and all the other stuff. Not the car hauler, but his actual cars parked right here on the side. Look through the mirror, and you see them over there too. You got to share the rest area with the cars now. I almost didn't have a spot to park at last night, but I just happened to get this one. But what I'm thinking about, is basically why I came into trucking. Let me go ahead and put this down real quick. You see, when I came to trucking, I came to it to earn an income. Because, like I said, they call me a nomadic author, what I'm saying? I'm a published author. And I used to try to drive around across country selling my books to the libraries and everything. Try to do it myself. Even though my publisher had a little program where they was going to the little get-togethers for all the librarians across the country and everything, and they was trying to sell the books there too. But I also took and put my hands in it too, trying to make things work. What I'm saying, make it move, make it happen. And then my mother ended up dying. And I was in a bad place at the time, Because at the time I was living the I living the RV life, but it's more like I was living gotta put that on there. That's right, represent the goddamn country with your American flags. Now that is what you call the Union, not that Confederacy shit. People riding around with these rebel flags and trying to change the meaning of the flag and everything, but you never seen a Union member taking a picture in front of a rebel flag. Those were Confederates. But I'm not even going to get into that right now. As I was saying, my mother had just passed. I was in a bad place. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't living the RV life because I didn't have an RV. I had a van. I was living a van life. Living out of my van, traveling across the country. Working through a place that used to be called Labor Ready. They're a national company, you know what I'm saying, that does temporary work. But they changed their name from Labor Ready to People Ready. And in some areas they had plenty of jobs, but then in some areas where I found out the hard way, it's hard to get up the gas money so you can get on to the next spot, But that's how life was, And I ended up coming into trucking. So I could make a big change, start earning a living and everything. Now, what made me start making these YouTube videos is because I know there's a lot of people out there that's looking for a way to become a success. And here in the trucking industry, you can become a success. But then you got to watch out for those who would try to turn you away or get rid of you and all this other stuff. They do everything from playing with your your reputation, to trying to spit venom on your name and all other types of stuff. And you see it on these YouTube videos. I didn't come to the YouTube to sit there and try to beef with another trucker or whatever. We all out here trying to earn a living. We all out here trying to make some money. We all out here trying to be able to take care of our bills or kids or whatever it is that we have at home, you know. You don't have time for that nonsense. But, you know, I look at some of these people making these trucker YouTube videos. They started off good, talking good about how to get into the industry, what you're going to have to put up with, what you're going to handle in order to be eligible to come into this. Then they get off into all this folly, this YouTube beef, and it just went from informational videos to just content, you know. And it is what it is, you know. I'm not getting down on them. Whatever, do your thing. Now, some of the ladies, they're cute. They're in these truckers, but the majority of them don't like men. And they tell you. But you see people still in their live feeds and all the other stuff. I had to check myself. Because one of them said to everybody, y'all, you know, it's talking to the guys, you know what I'm saying? Y'all like men and all. I said, well, I can't speak up. I typed it in there. I can't. You just said cut into everybody talking about they like men. Well, I can't speak for all the rest of the people that's on here, but I like women. You know, so I had to check that, you know, and let it be what it is, you know, because she told you flat out that she likes women. So let that be that. And then there's a lot of RVers out here, and I had to admit, before I ever even saw a video about people in trucks and making content for truck drivers and all the other stuff, I seen these people in these RVs making this content. And they go around showcasing a lot of different things, but you don't see them beefing with each other like you do in the trucking industry. And it's sad that it's like that. In order to make content, they got millions of views and everything without the beef. So I have to ask, is it really worth it? Is this why you're really here? You know? You're supposed to be here trying to move things across the road and earn a living. So you take care of your own personal problems, your own life. You know? That's number one. Now, if you're trying to build something up to go mainstream and get a TV show and all the other stuff, I can understand that. But if that's not what you aiming for, then it makes no sense to be out here beefing. You know, it's sad. But I'm going to get off of these YouTube truckers, you know what I'm saying, because it is what it is. Because I remember like I said, before I even seen in one of these videos, you know, I remember I was going through training at CR England. And I was talking to Chad, asking him to make videos and all the other stuff based on his company and his experiences in the industry. And you know what I'm saying, basically showcase his family. You know what I'm saying, because they literally out there running their own authority, and it's a major authority on top of that, and you know, them some billionaires, and they did it without all of this folly. Then when they finally came out and started making their own videos, years after I got, you know what I'm saying, after I was separated from them, you know, I looked at it and you still don't see none of that folly. You see people getting interviewed and talking about the trucking life. That's the difference between the billionaires that's in the industry, owning their own authorities and running things and doing the damn thing, and these people who just doing YouTube content, trying to beef with each other, build up drama and all. It's really unnecessary. They made the billions without it. Why can't you? Sitting there playing with people's reputations and all the other stuff. It doesn't make no sense at all. I came on here to make content to help guide people to see if this is a field that they would mind actually getting into. You know, and then I moved on to become an owner operator. As to where people sit there try to argue with that too. But no matter how they try to put it, whatever it is that you got to put on paper, that's what really counts. Not how you feel about being in this certain situation. And nah, you're not an owner, you just this, or you 1099, you this. On paper it says lease operator. On paper it says owner operator. So guess what you are? Owner operator. By law. Why should I have to sit there and argue with somebody? Just saying. Now, what I'm thinking about, you know, is because I just got a chance to look at my settlement, and I noticed that in the expenses, this is the highest I've ever seen my toll rates. Because I was seeing tolls that got up to about $90. And overall, what I had a total deductions of like something like almost $3,000. Yeah, it's something like close to $3,000 in deductions. You know what I'm saying? And you want to know what out of that 3,000 in deductions from a check, a third of it went towards tolls. It's $956.43 worth of tolls that was deducted out of my check this week. Yeah. And so I got to looking at it, and I noticed that they crunch all the tolls up into one, and you know what I'm saying, from the past month, and then throw it at you on one check. And you know what I'm saying, that took that's like a third of all the deductions that's taken out of my check. And you know, that's kind of like, it's business, and it's letting me know that my overhead is too high. So I have to look at ways to try to come around. But like I was telling the asset manager for USA Truck, my truck doesn't go fast enough for me to make up the time that I would lose trying to go around a lot of these tolls, onto these toll roads, and try to figure out where I can and where I can't go, because then you turn around and run into roads with signs that say no trucks allowed. But you notice you can't see that sign until after you done turn on to that street. They don't put it right on the corner where you can see it. They put it like 90 feet back. You know what I'm saying? So you can't see that shit until after you turn on it. And after you turn on it, you can't back up in the traffic and all this other stuff. You just looking at it. You can either just stop right there and block traffic and call the cops and have them come back you out and everything, or whatever. Or you can try to chance it by going down there and making and turning, and then finding a way back to a road where you can be on. By that time, you might run into a cop that want to give you a ticket. You know what I'm saying? All that type of stuff. Then you have to worry about going into areas, and then all of a sudden you going down the road and you run across a bridge. That means you gotta back all the way back up the street. But it's always somebody right directly behind you. So where you can't do nothing but pull over and call the cops and have the cops tell them, instead of them just going around you, they want to sit there and honk the horn and all that other stuff. Then the cops show up. Oh no, so they want to bag your ass up. You know, yeah, it's stuff like that you have to deal with. And I mentioned it too. I said, because it seemed like everybody targets the paycheck of a trucker. And so I started looking at the rates and everything that the company is negotiating, and I had to figure out that, yes, they're negotiating cheap freight and passing the cost off onto the trucker. But they saving them, taking all the savings for their company and for their customers. But you as a trucker, you got to be able to save up in case something happens. You got to be able to save up and save all that money. But when you got $900 worth of tolls coming out of your check, or if it ain't that, it's something else, or it's some fucking officer screwing with you and all this other stuff, man, truck breakdown, all that stuff, you might get a busted tire. That's $400 for the front and $500 for one in the back. That's just one tire. And I done spent $900 worth in tires already, you know. So it is what it is. I look at it and say, something got to give. You know, so I have to start looking at these routes that they give me. It looks good getting you in there, but then you can't get up out of there. Then you got to think about all the tolls you done accrued getting in there, and then all the tolls you're going to accrue getting back up out of that situation. And then where they running you at, right up in these, like I said, you get into that, take that one good load that's take you in there, and then they want to circulate around in the mountains and that's where all them damn tolls was coming from. West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Delaware, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Pike, you know what I'm saying, Chesapeake Bay, all that stuff, all that shit count. And like I said, that added up to $900, almost $1,000 coming out of my check. That was only like 40. What was it, 70? What did I say? 956, 73, 43. That's 57 cent. Now 46. 956, excuse me. That's 44, 43, 56. That's $43.56. 53 cents. 57 cents, excuse me. $43.57 shy of $1,000. Then you got it to where they want to try to make us. I saw an article where they want to try to make everywhere that a truck can park pay for parking. That means no more free parking. No more free parking anywhere. And if you park anywhere else, you know, they're going to try to push the police to start ticketing you even more. And now it was just one guy, he said he was not even 2 blocks away from where he had to pick up his load at. His GPS led him on a road that he claimed that he had to travel down, but everybody up arguing up and down that he should have went a different route. Now, the cop pulled him over because he was overweight. He was in a big truck with a 53-foot trailer running down that road, and the cop was saying that he was overweight. So to check and see if he was overweight, he pulled them scales out, run your truck across these scales. And you know how much that ticket ended up being? He ended up having to come out 45 grand, 45,000 for being on the wrong damn road. That's how much overweight they charge them for being overweight on that road. You know, that's nothing. You know what I'm saying? So when you got to think about when you run into stuff like that, the company then take into account that you needed to save up to be able to pay something like that off. All they want to do is try to save a business money in freight, in transferring their freight. But these people are billionaires that you're saving money from, and you taking the money right out of our pockets. You know what I'm saying? To better do for them. And then we went through a not too long ago. Went through a recession where they wanted to try to cheapen the freight even more, and they passed the shit right on to us, not to the company and not to the customers. And I started tallying that stuff up. Some of it, you know what I'm saying, you driving 1,000 miles, but he only want to pay you $1.50, $1.75 for per mile. Then they're taking into account all them tolls you're gonna accrue on the way. The fuel, they give you a fuel surcharge, is only like a discount on the fuel, you know what I'm saying? You get a third, you pay a third of that. Excuse me, whatever it is that you know what I'm saying, they deducting a third of that off, and that's how much they actually give you, you know? And then I had to deal with people asking me, is it right for me to come into this industry? I had to really stop and just think about it. Really, I did. Quit asking me questions about my job. The company got a website. It gives you a very good explanation. They have people you can call and talk to and get more information about it. But you want to come questioning me, and then if you get into it, you get into a problem, and it don't work out for you. First person you want to try to look at is me, because you want to try to say I talked you into it. Then next thing you know, you want to try to sue me and all this other stuff for your loss. No. If you want information, go to the company website, talk to the people that's running this business, for 2, and then for 3, go get a licensed consultant. I said this in a video prior to this one. Go get a licensed consultant, not a YouTube trucker or a trucker on YouTube, whatever you want, however you want to put it. Go get you. That's the reason why they're licensed, for you to consult with them about how you should run your career. That's what they're there for. You'll get a financial planner on how to spend your money in a way to where you can make some money. That's what they're there for. They're licensed, and if something go wrong, you sue them, not me. You sue the person with the license. Me, all I can do is give you advice, but at the same time, I'm not telling you or trying to persuade you into doing anything. You do it of your own free will. Quit trying to put me in a situation where you can try to sue me. Like I said, everybody targets the pockets of a trucker. And you just try to say whatever it is that you want to say. I guarantee you they're going to put a news story about somebody suing another trucker because they claim that they talked them into going in this direction with their career. We're going to cut it from here on out. Don't ask me no questions, because I'm going to just point you right directly back to the company. I'm going to point you in the right direction towards a financial planner or a licensed consultant. I'm not going to tell you which consultant. I'm just going to tell you, go consult you a financial planner. Go consult you a consultant. Go talk to a consultant. I'm not the one to be giving you out the information. Of course, yes, I'm in the business. Yes, I'm all this other, but I'm not in this business for you to be trying to get away into my pockets. I'm not here for that. I'm not here for any of these other truckers that want to make YouTube content dissing each other and all that other stuff. I don't have time for that. I'm here to make a living so I can take care of my personal business and whatever problems that I have at home. That's what I'm in here for. Number one. So, I'm going to sit back and just enjoy this view because right now I got nothing but free time. I don't make my delivery till 3 o'clock in the morning. So, I mean, I was down for all day anyway. And then when I'm done with delivering this load, I'm down for the weekend. To put in my 34-hour reset so I can run good next week. But first, I'm thinking I might have to go ahead because I was looking at the freights that's coming out of that area. There's nothing within 100 miles of that location. And then the only one load that they have is a very cheap load, and it's taking up too much of my time. So I figure I probably have to take a tap in the wallet and deadhead out of that area. Now watch they try to create some type of rules at the company, trying to make me stay in that area. But goddamn it, I have the right to deadhead out of that area without taking the fucking load. You know. Well, now watch, because I know they watch these videos. Watch it. I know they watch them. Just like I was already put up on, I said this in the previous video. They hire companies to follow these trucks around to make sure that you're going to where in the hell you're supposed to be going. A lot of people want to drive off route from what they give, but if they lead you onto one of them streets where you get a $45,000 ticket, first thing they're going to tell you is you're not supposed to be following that GPS anyway. You're supposed to know your own way around. But yeah, you got a company following around behind me. I remember I was driving, I was like not even a mile away from my delivery. This one car was following right in the next lane to me. Say this is the truck, this at back end of my trailer. It was like right on the side of my trailer, just following. I mean, he literally stuck right there, like he was glued to my trailer in that one spot and just driving. And so I said, "What the heck is going on?" So I slowed down, and that son bitch slowed down. And so I kept on, I took my foot off the brake, and then he slowed down even more and got behind me to follow me. Yeah, it was at nighttime, but my lights is on and so is his. He could see right up ahead and that it was nobody in front of him. So when I slowed down, why did he slow down too when he could have just zoomed right on by me? It's a 2-lane road, meaning both lanes is going in the same direction. I watched you follow behind me like that for about 3 blocks, like he glued to the side of my trailer. And the moment I put on my brakes, you slowing down too, staying right there in that same spot. Wasn't like I was speeding or anything, but this is not the first time that has happened. I see it happen on the freeway, all that stuff. And then they had the nerve to send you a message talking about other drivers doing stuff like that. I was already put up on this by another company that companies hire third-party companies to follow around their trucks to see if they're doing what they're supposed to do, if they're driving safely or whatever it is that they're supposed to be doing, you know. And then you have to turn around and keep an eye on your checks, because like I said, I caught this company several times in the past to where they screwed up my check and they had to put some money on my card just to compensate me for it and everything. So yes, they do make mistakes, and I wonder about that. You know, say they probably make the mistake, and if you don't check them, they're gonna continue making those same mistakes. And if they continue and they don't say nothing, next thing you know, they want to drug test you because you might be on drugs, or you might be out there getting drunk and all this other good stuff too. And that's another thing I was thinking about. So when you start, everybody think it's funny when you start wanting to try to keep tabs on a lot of stuff that's going on, and it's affecting you. But guess what? The very people that's laughing at you doing stuff like that, they keeping tabs on everything you do from that, because they run all the computer systems, they got all the paperwork, they got everything on you, but yet you ain't got shit on them other than what they send you as a message. And then they got copies of that message because you can only do so much unless you actually just taking pictures of the screen and all the other stuff. You don't have nothing. They got everything in their pockets, but you have nothing other than the trust and them keeping their word. All right, this is Mental checking out.